I just wish to state on record that we did re receive Mr. Michael Young's help with borrowed money from him to pay for this.
You borrowed money from Mr. Young. You're now saying categorically that you borrowed money from Mr. Michael Young.
The company, not personally. The company.
Of course, the company.
We did receive his help, but only after we were awarded the contract. So that is what I want to say. So I hope you can put that in consideration for Mr. Lincoln Ong.
Michael Young paid probably advance and paid the stocks. So the goods.
I think the arrangement was, since we will not be able to finance these things, and we really needed to do that so that we would not get blacklisted, he offered to borrow us the money so that we will be able to pay for it.
And how much was borrowed? Was lent?
I don't have the exact number, to be honest, Mr. Chairman. We don't have the exact number. But we would pay him back once we receive the money from the government.
At the time that the contract was awarded to you, you had no financing whatsoever, because you say it is after you got the contract that you approached Michael Young. So when you bidded or when you were negotiating to get the contract, you had absolutely no funds to buy the supplies. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, we are hoping...
Yes or no? No. At the time that you were awarded, you had no funds to carry out your obligations.
Yes, Mr.
Correct
Chairman.
Or not?
I would say
Yes,
we didn't have the
because
sufficient funds.
Yes, because this law is so arrogant and say that he complied with all the requirements. So here you are, the basic financial capacity requirement has not been complied, was not available because the grantee or the one who was given the contract admitted that they had no funds, and then they went to Michael Young.
Mr. Chairman, there was no requirements submitted to us on the financial requirements. Whatever requirements that were submitted to us, complied.
Don't, Mr. Huang, do not argue with me on what the law is. All right? So we just stick to the facts. The fact is you got your financing from Mr. Young after you got the award. Question, how much was that? For the first contract? So 54 million was the first award. How much did you borrow from Mr. Young?
Mr. Chairman, the only contracts that we really seeked help on the first the PPE contract, as well as the BGI contract, the first BGI contract.
So how much? How much?
I don't have that record with me, Mr. Chairman. But out of surgical mask, we did not seek help from. If my collections are right, I think I'm correct. That we did not seek help from Mr. Michael Young for the surgical mask. And as well as for the A-Star, it was funded by the company also. And for our contracts this year, we did not seek any more help from him. If we could not seek help from anyone, we would not. But it was a time where I guess the intention was that we are three young men. We are greedy. We wanted to bite off a bigger contract.
Well, yes.
And
yes, I agree.
Mr.
Huang, I don't fault you for your ambitions. It is natural that as a young businessman, you try to get the most and the best contract. What we are talking about is from the Philippine side, there were certain basic requirements that must be complied with, among which is the financial capacity of your company. You won the contract without a single peso, and that is why afterwards you had to go to Mr. Michael Young. Those are facts, and whether or not that is, it's no longer a question of whether or not that's true, because those are facts established. The matter of the consequence or the implications, let's not discuss that here, because we are just looking after the facts and how the law will be applied. Thank you, Mr.
If I can have a short reply, Mr. Chairman, if I may have a short reply. We realize that we've caused a huge ruckus, but we just want to make sure that people don't think that we are a dummy for Mr. Michael Young. We have thoughts, we have ambitions, we work on our resources, we plan.
No.
So it's just.
We never said that you're a dummy, Mr. Huang. What I'm saying is that you did not have the capacity to be awarded millions and millions of pesos worth of contract, and that is where we find fault. Not that you're a dummy. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you had no funds available. You got this contract. You went to Mr. Young and got funds from him, loaned funds from him. So those are the facts.